Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Gotta shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody, power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah. Can Crushers. Yeah. Can Crushers, let's go.
How was that?
That was great.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. That might have been your best one yet.
My cockles are warm today. They need to be. They need to be.
You got a long-ass day ahead of you, so they definitely need to be.
Do have a long ass day. Mark the Mark Martinez, Sir Michael Jenks, you're here on the Can Crusher Wrestling Podcast. Jenks, how was your week?
My week was good. It was a stellar week. Just busy all around. Finally got the final mulching done.
It's
now I have way
about
too much
time.
mulch left over. I know. I've been getting angry about it. So I have some mulch left over, so I might just throw it around in some of the other areas just to kind of spruce it up a bit. But
Your neighbor's
finally got that
yard.
done. Yep. I actually started, neighbor's yard. Now you're not getting any mulch. So I actually started another thing where I'm designing my cornhole boards that I got for Christmas 2 years ago, finally.
Nice.
So my cousin, he handmade them. He does great work. And he gave me just white cornhole boards. I won a bunch of stickers back in January from Shirts on Tap. They were giving away sticker packs, so they sent me like a bajillion stickers. So what I'm doing now is putting those all around the outside of it, and then I'll paint the top and put a polyurethane coating on it. So those boards should be pretty slick and very usable for the upcoming, for any cornhole that I'm going to be doing in the summers here. So yeah, so I'm starting to work on that, and everything else is going good. Pretty status quo for the most part. I'm not crazy busy like you are, so.
Yeah, thanks. I was going to ask if you were going to put like epoxy over top of those, kind of like to save the sticker. I mean, once you put the stickers in epoxy, they're ruined anyway, but I didn't know if you wanted that super glossy look.
Yeah, so actually I bought clear acrylic from Mod Podge, if you know what that is.
I do.
Basically, it's like a glow. So they have acrylic that they have that you can put over top of it to protect whatever you're putting together in that. So I'm going to use that and spray those down. And then I'm going to spray paint the top to kind of match or just to pretty it up a bit. So, yep, that is in the plan. So
Nice. You made reference to being busy. Yes.
yeah.
3 games again this week. Essentially, the Legion season now for baseball is in the books. We only have the playoff left. And playoffs! And anything else that the Slugger Sports Network may bring my way, essentially, during pay-per-view nights that we've been talking about for 6 months. So, yes! Break in the news, folks. I myself will not be watching Forbidden Door live. I have 2 games actually today, one at 3:30 and then essentially 7:30-ish is the championship game after they give a little bit of a break between this, that, and the other. So yeah, no Forbidden Door for me tonight, but Forbidden Door for Mark tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do it off of social media, seeing that half of our podcast is ran on social media. People are going to be looking for what happened on Forbidden Door for the people that don't buy that. So maybe I can get Kelly to post and not look at our own page for Can Crushers tomorrow? I don't know. I have no idea. This is the first real, like, live pay-per-view I'm going to miss that I care about, and I have to stay away from social media.
Yeah, and I was going to volunteer to be that person to update it for you, but as well. So just the way things are shaking out today, I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch. I don't know how my play is going to shape out. If I'm going to come in before Forbidden Door, or if I start coming in like 7:30, 8 o'clock ish, because I'm not watching it because I'm one of those people that has to watch it end to end, full in. So I may be in that similar boat, Mark, at the end of the day. It just depends on how my day goes. You know, you're not going to be able to watch it. Myself is to be determined. It's just the way it goes right now. So
you have not bought it yet, though, correct?
Correct. I have not. My intention is to buy it when I'm able to watch it, because I know you can still do that through a week on Bleacher Report app. So
right, and you may be winning. I bought it a long time ago, once it was put up on our pay-per-view, our Xfinity, and I'm like, okay, now what do I do once I find out I have baseball games? I'm not going to give up baseball games. It's money in my pocket, this, that, and the other, and it's also building the other brand that we have going on. So I'm like, oh shit, I bought this already. Now what do I do? It does give you the option to record. I don't know if it does, though. I don't know if you're allowed recording pay-per-views. It gives you an option. I hit it. Does it work? I guess we'll find out tonight. The downfall is I might have to buy it again, Jenks. And explain that to my wife.
Yeah. Hey,
it's
I have
already
to spend
on.
$120.
It's already on. It will already be on next month's Xfinity bill. They sent me a confirmation. Yeah, cool. Go ahead and watch it. If you're home, you idiot. Do the yeah, cool. Yes. Awesome. Great.
Well, I feel like if they gave you the option, you should be fine. My concern would be, though, Mark, is this going to end up, does it record all the way through the pay-per-view, or is it going to cut off at a certain time? Like,
I know.
That's my concern, because you're going to get like a DDP, what was it, DDP Goldberg, where the pay-per-view just cut off random, like during the main event or whatever it was way back when. So I'm like very skeptical of that whatever the main event ends up being, it's going to cut off halfway through, and you can be like, well, what the hell just happened? And be really pissed.
Yeah.
But
and I'm sure I'm not getting the buy-in or whatever the hell they call it.
yeah.
I just hit record. I don't know. I may have an hour in between the podcast and heading over to baseball that I look at it one more time and I'm like, what do I do? Some people are like, hey, jackass, since you have it, you can watch it on your phone. How am I going to watch it on my phone during a baseball game? I thought of that.
Yeah. And you losing your mind at anything that happens in wrestling during a baseball game that doesn't match up is not going to look good for you.
Holy fuck! That was a 6-3 on the diamond.
Holy fuck. Well, that was a ball. Yeah. I thought it was a strike, but whatever.
Yeah. So that's my night. And then, literally, 20 minutes before we go and hit record, Jenks is like, Money in the Bank is Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. It is. So, hello. Welcome to our podcast of random fuckery today. Because...
true professionals.
Yeah. Completely. I just forgot they moved all theirs to Saturday this year, except for like one or two. I don't know. We are off kilter and just messed up for probably one of the biggest weeks in wrestling in a while. Yeah. Because Forbidden Door and Money in the Bank's number 4, essentially in WWE now.
Well, you would think that, but the way they're booking things now, I have complaints about that, but we'll get there when we get there. Take a shot, but
yeah.
All
right, we have to move along fast. We have a hard stop today. We are going to cover, this is how it's going to go. The Week in Wrestling coming up in like seconds. Predictions for Forbidden Door. So, Katie, you'll get your predictions. And segment 3 will be Money in the Bank predictions. That should be rather short. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, we got a good one today.
I did have something in my head right there when I was calling out Katie, but I forgot. But let me wrap back around to this. I want to apologize to people that listen on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Play, and all that. There was something amiss last week that our podcasting host site didn't send it out until like the wee hours of the evening. So, but I did check the numbers later in the week. You guys did come back. It was cool. The numbers that we normally get were there in the millions.
Millions!
Okay, I had to set that for you. You found it. And I was kind of pissed at that was the week that we had issues because I thought it was a great-ass Can Crushers. I'm like,
yeah,
these sons of bitches, you podcasting host site, what are you doing? And I didn't know this until Jester Cody, since you're Sir, he's got to be Jester apparently, said, hey, do you know it's not on whatever one he said? And I'm like, what? And of course I was at a baseball game. All right, look into it, and I got an email saying, we're having technical issues. Just send our link around. I'm like, you sons of bitches, you don't pay anything to send your link around. So nonetheless, which wraps back around to where I was really going. I got an email this week from Ben in Pittsburgh. Physically no Ben. Ben listens to the show from like day one-ish. I missed it again. Fuck. Because I was on third shift. Can I send this question anyway? Well, there's your question. We always ask the best of this or that. So let me stop here for a minute and yell at Ben. Do you know how email works? You don't have to send it the morning of or any time. There's people that send this in all the time, Ben. You could send an email now for next Ask Can Crushers, and we'll answer it. Just because you are on third shift on Saturday night doesn't mean you can't send it in. You're a idiot. You can call him out too, Jenks. It's okay. You might not know him, but I know him. You're an idiot, Ben. Email. We need to start asking what is the worst stuff so people don't look for it. So my first worst, say that 6 times fast. What is the worst finisher ever? So we're going to give Ben a slack here because he worked third shift last week, I mean.
And last night, probably.
Probably last night. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. All right. Do you understand his dilemma that he was on third shift and couldn't send an email?
You know, I give people benefits of doubt. I don't know Ben, but what I will say
I'm trying to get you to say something bad about him, but you won't.
I know you are. I know you're just trying to coax me into saying something bad. You know what, Ben? I'm not going to fall for the trap. I get it. We get graveyard shift, brain fog. It happens. If it happens again, I definitely will say something bad about you. But, yeah, I mean, email is email. It is what it is, Mark. We get great prompts, though.
Right.
See, I was being nice.
Right.
Somebody's got to be nice on this.
Somebody's got to be nice. So let's pat Ben on the back and give him a little stroke of ego because who the hell knows if he's listening to this now or tomorrow morning? Who knows?
Third shift. Yeah,
third shift. What is the worst finisher you've ever seen? And I actually like this. So we should do more worsts.
Yeah. Coming top of mind right now, it's got to be Umaga's finisher with the thumb, the Samoan spike or whatever. I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That or the WMD.
The what?
So the Big Show's punch.
Oh, okay.
The weapon of mass destruction or whatever it was called. I think he called it WMD at one point. So it's those two.
I also have two, but go ahead, finish what you're saying.
I just think they were the dumbest thing. I think they could have did more. Just because of the size of the athlete in that, I just thought those didn't fit. Like, I don't know. I have a thing about big guys who relegate themselves to choke slams. Besides Kane, obviously, but he's a dick now, so that's a different story. But they relegate themselves to choke slams or these moves where it's like, I get you're big and powerful and it could look good, but I kind of want to see a bigger finish out of them, whether it's a running splash or some sort of thing that kind of sways into their size a little bit. But that's just me. So that's kind of where I'm at. Samoan Spike or the WMD are mine.
Big shows I'm all right with, I guess, because we fell for Ronnie Garvin's Hands of Stone back in the 80s. So a giant doing a punch is definitely bigger than Hands of Stone. I agree with Omaga's, but that's not the one I have. I have two.
Okay.
Santino's snake bite, I hated that. I hated it, and it was stupid. All he did was peck you with his fingers, essentially.
Fair.
So that, I'm like, yeah, that's stupid. But the worst one of all time is Outback Jack's clothesline to the front and then clothesline to the back.
Oh, yeah.
If one clothesline kills people sometimes, how the hell did the guy get back up to set up just to get clothesline from the back again? The boomerang was ridiculous. That's why Outback Jack didn't last a long time. But he is hanging up in the podcast studio.
I forgot about Outback Jacks. So, valid point. Yeah, you know what? That one was pretty horrendous.
Yeah.
I'll replace Big Shows with that one. I would agree with you on that because I totally forgot about Outback Jack. Yeah, the premise of it all is just stupid.
Yeah.
And just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Santino's, I get your point, but for some reason, I don't hate it.
Because it was comic. Where
it was comic, and he was comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I get your point on Santino, but to me, it was a comic element. It was supposed to be stupid. I can't deny the fact that I always remember and revert back to Elimination Chamber, I think it was 2011, 2012, where he hit it, and people thought he was going to win the world title because he hit the snake inside the chamber on Daniel Bryan. I don't know if you remember that, but that was like, to me, it shouldn't have been that believable, but it made people believe enough that he could do it. So I think because of that, maybe it's getting a little bit more of a warmer place in my heart because of that. Because of, we knew it wasn't going to work, but people were just on the edge of their seat. Somehow they made it feel like it could almost win the world title. So to me, that's kind of what elevates it a little bit more too.
Okay, so I think we both narrowed it down into Umagas and then Outback Jack. Because I'll give you that whole nice sob story that you gave me about Santino. And then he was comic. So, all right, there's our two. Ben, thanks. Send an email for the next one in a month. Programming note, this Wednesday I am speaking with Gary Emmett, the co-owner founder of AWR. What the hell is AWR? Well, it's Asylum Wrestling Revolution. What the hell is Asylum Wrestling Revolution? It is the people that bring you Asylum Deathmatch Tournament 3. God of Death. In Indianapolis, Indiana. I booked my... thank you. I booked my Airbnb this morning. Yeah, I'm excited. Listen to the podcast, listen to the interview. We talk about some stuff. It's two truckers talking. Mark really gets down and dirty, and we just let it all loose. So, if you're a child, yeah, make sure you look because the explicit is there. This is your warning. It gets, yeah. Jenks, I'm going to spoil something. I'm going to make some weapons.
Oh my God. What? What debauchery are you thinking up right now?
I don't know, but God damn it, I'm gonna go hang out with Hoodfoot and Necro Butcher, JJ Escobar, who is, if you don't know who JJ Escobar is, he's the kid that's getting run over and blown up in shit houses and everything all over the place. I'm super stoked for this. At first I was like, let's see, but now, yeah, I am. There's Christmas and then there's a deathmatch tournament. Yeah, I'm ready for the deathmatch tournament.
Oh my God, I don't even know what you're going to come up with now.
I don't either. Hopefully, he gives me a plan of what to make because I'm an idiot of making anything. I flunked shop class, for God's sake.
I'm wondering if I'm assuming he's going to give you like predetermined items to use.
I hope.
And be creative out of that. If not, Jesus Christ, that possibility is endless at that point.
Right.
So I think the other fascinating part of this is, so are they just going to put these weapons under the ring for?
No, Jenks, it's deathmatch. You don't have to put anything under there. Everything is just
true.
like,
that
here
is
you go.
True. It's there. It's laying out. You're right. Yeah, good lord. Oh my God. I can't even imagine what sick freaking things you're going to come up with.
I know. I can't wait.
Maybe I can feed you some ideas, but I need to know what you're working with to do that.
Well, I won't find out until July 8th when I'm in Indianapolis.
That's fair.
So you better answer when I call.
All right.
Okay. And then I'll take a picture of it.
I will put it on a reminder on my phone. Answer when Mark calls you.
July 8th.
July 8th. Anytime.
All right. We rambled enough. Let's take care of the week in wrestling. Kind of fast forward and dedicate a lot of time to Forbidden Door because I think we have a lot of thoughts on Forbidden Door and then slide into Money in the Bank, which we forgot was soon. So it's predictions, essentially. Raw, Jenks, Raw. And we have to start, again, we should have mentioned it a little bit earlier, but this is the way we are. If it's not in a note, Mark forgets, and that's sad. We lost another referee this week. We lost Tim White. And Tim was... He was the Attitude Era referee for me. He was the drunk guy. He got into a lot of fuckery is definitely the word of the day because it's in my head. And it's all because Gary Emmett. We started it last night and it's continuing. He was part of all the random angles and just, being an alcoholic and being this and being that. And he was a huge part of the Attitude Era that we overlooked again. And I forget offhand, I believe it was Timothy that said we should remember referees more. And then, boom, look what happens. Just that fast, we lose two iconic referees. Tim White, what'd you think?
This one hurt. I would agree with you. He was a part of a lot of different angles. Some not casting him in the greatest light, but obviously he did it for the business and that. I used to enjoy Tim White matches because I thought he stood out in them a lot. He was probably second, if not third on my list for all-time favorite refs during that time. And honestly, he just did so much for the industry. And hearing some of the stories and that came out afterwards, obviously, in retrospective from the guys, they loved him. They loved everything about him. They loved what he did for the business and what he did for them. I just wish they didn't put him in some of the angles they did. Some of those things were just too much.
Yeah.
But it was sad to hear that he passed literally what I think it was maybe a day or two after Dave Hebner had passed. So it was sad. I will say that I was kind of sad by that. So got some prayers to his family in that because it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Again, really early, young, not even 70 yet, young man anymore. Too soon.
Too soon, indeed.
So again, thoughts and prayers from Can Crushers to the White family and friends. Jenks, Bianca starts the show, and of course everybody knows Wednesday I do watch AEW, and then sometime during the week I watch Raw. This was after I watched Bryan Danielson. We're not going to loop everything together. We'll get there. This is after I watched Bryan Danielson, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Monday, Bianca comes out to tell us that Rhea can't wrestle. Why not have Rhea get that feel-good moment? I mean, it's not a feel-good moment that you're not wrestling, but at least that little, hey, I can't be here. I'm going to come back and be stronger. I know I'm a bad girl right now in Judgment Day, this, that, and the other thing. Roman did it, and when he stepped away, I mean, we don't know how long this brain injury that Rhea has, that how long she's going to be on the shelf. Why not give her that stroke of saying, hey, curtain down, this is me, I got a lot of life going on. Why do we get Bianca telling it? And she didn't tell it good.
No, she didn't. I wonder if it was they didn't want Rhea getting too much sympathy because they're trying to stick to that Judgment Day. She's not a great person. She's not a great character. I don't know if that's playing into it, or it's the one thing that they're trying to build her up to be this strong powerhouse, and they don't want to get her too sympathetic or address it head on. I don't know. Either way, to me, that was kind of embarrassing that you didn't give her the respect to go out and make that announcement herself. Nothing against Bianca. To your point, though, she didn't really deliver it well, but this was. It just seems like another disrespect being put on women's wrestling in some aspects of it. I think it would have made more sense to have it come directly from Maria. Maybe even have her name an opponent for Bianca in her absence. I don't know. But to me, this was just a little. It wasn't good. It wasn't done well, to be honest.
Which then leads to the rest of the Raw roster essentially coming out, stating claim that they're number one contender. We get a Fatal 5-woman match. Jenks, this tells me that Rhea wasn't winning it. At Money in the Bank either. No disrespect, because you guys know that I love Mella. I love Leah Van Dale as well. Leah Graves or Leah, whatever the hell they realize. I resonate with Carmella a little bit. But Mella was put there, and this is not a must-watch match now. Mella hasn't been built up since Mania when they lost. She's been forgotten about. Sometimes she's on TV, sometimes she's not. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just not have a match. But then that's another title not on Money in the Bank, right?
Well, yeah, and then the hatred that would come from the internet community, even though I know they don't bill off of that. But to that point, Mark, it's not Carmella's fault. They just haven't booked her well.
Right.
And they could do a great storyline around this, she was going to try to get the opportunity back at SummerSlam. I know she had one way back when, but she was going to try to beat Bianca at that time. That's when Becky came out, so she was forced out of it. They could play a little bit into the history here. They still can this week. But to me, you're right. Carmella didn't seem like the plausible choice here to dethrone Bianca, and this match is just going to end up being a placeholder match that, hey, here's a title shot. We know you're not going to win it, but at least we have the title on the thing. I think at this point, wouldn't you think give it Alexa Bliss versus Bianca, or are they looking for a bigger or more time to build up that storyline?
That's actually who I picked to win this match. I thought Bliss was going to win, and Mella was going to take the loss. Essentially setting up then Asuka and Becky for later, and then who's the other one that was and Liv?
Oh, Liv, yeah.
Because I think it leads to Liv maybe winning Money in the Bank, so you couldn't give her that match and then trade it. Like she said, I'll trade the championship match tonight for the Money in the Bank match. I'm like, well, to me, when I heard that, I'm like, they might have given something. To me, they might have given something away. Fast forward, Asuka wins, so she's in the Money in the Bank. Becky's not in anything at Money in the Bank. Will she be there? I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I just, I don't know. But where's Alexa fall? I thought Alexa would have been the one to at least get this shot. I agree 100% with you.
So I'm wondering now, based on booking, we don't know what's going on with Rhea. So this could plausibly be the Rhea spot, but we'll see. If I'm fantasy booking SummerSlam or booking SummerSlam now, which WWE loves to do, and I can't understand that because you have a pay-per-view literally before that, are they looking at maybe Bliss versus Bianca at SummerSlam now? I know there's different plans in there, but maybe they're going to build up Becky. This could be a spoiler, could not be, but maybe Becky interferes in the Money in the Bank match. to take out Asuka. What's going to happen here? I could see it very well being Bianca Bliss or Bianca Rhea, depending on the severity of Rhea's out for. Because I don't think I've seen anything that's come up that tells me a specific amount of time for this injury. Because we're not sure what it is outside the brain injury. So I'm wondering if it's Bliss, Bianca at the bigger show, which then I could probably see that makes sense. I don't think the way they gave Liv, though, the loss in this kind of baffles me. It seems like they're relegating her back to just being a body in a match to take losses, which to me, again, that's not how they should be booking her, but maybe it's going to get her more sympathy. I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
We'll wait. Part 3.
Fair. Part 3.
Yeah. We're gonna get Vince every week saying nothing. I could have given a shit that it was Raw 1517, 30 years of Raw, and next week Cena comes back, and they just leaves.
We already knew that Cena's coming back. This is just him stroking his ego at this point and saying, you know what? I'm having this happen, but I'm going to walk my ass out there every single time we have TV time just to fuck with the people. Don't be surprised if he doesn't just start showing up on NXT to say random things. Braun Breaker, champion, and then leaves. Like, it's going to be the stupidest things that have no bearing on the show whatsoever. He's just going to walk out there and do just because he can.
Yeah. Monday he'll probably be the one to announce Cena come out Monday. And then Friday, he'd be like, hey, don't forget, tomorrow night is a streaming live event that you can watch on Peacock. No shit, Vince. Good thing
Thanks.
You're back on TV. You are Johnny on the spot. Yeah. Jenks, we get Riddle and Omos in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. And again, we're not going to break this down all the way. There's just things that are really pissing me off. Why is Riddle not in this Money in the Bank match? And Omos is.
I have no idea.
There's no possible way, is there, that they're going to push this son of a bitch and he's going to get this?
I'd like to say no, but I don't know.
Yeah. This is the fuckery that we get with WWE.
It is. Because they've done it before. It would not surprise me if they do it again.
Go ahead.
I have a. Oh, you were good.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I have a theory, but I'll get into it later on in our predictions because I think I might know what's going to happen here. But go on.
Okay.
Let's go forward with Theory.
Yeah, moving along. Theory comes out and essentially just challenges Cena. Bob comes out and finishes the whole stuff from last week. Yeah, folks, it's Theory and Cena at SummerSlam. I don't care that you think Bob might have a chance to win Saturday. He doesn't. It's Theory and Cena. You don't put Cena's name. Oh my God, Mark. You don't put Cena's name in somebody's mouth unless he's going to end up fighting him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. The writing's on the wall for what it is, and it's all going to kick off on Monday with Cena coming back. I love what Bob's become, but I hate that he's just been. I don't think he's going to win that thing, but
no.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. He did win the gauntlet match. He beat Gable and Otis and then Theory. So, that encompassed all that in one. I love the camera work from Elias and Zeke, by the way. I loved everything about that.
Well.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. That was well done. I will give them props on that. They did do that well. Everything they did with it is fantastic.
Are we going to get KO against Elias, though, in the end, and then we get the beard ripped off? Is that going to be a payoff at some point?
Well, if it is, I feel like it's a SummerSlam payoff.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that because I love this going forward. This is probably I'm sorry if you guys don't believe this, but I think it's the best part of Raw so far
Uh,
in a long time.
Yeah, because that's all I have to talk about. I mean, we kind of wrapped everything up besides, Veer creates carnage, and we already said that Asuka won the match, so she's in, Becky's out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's about it for Raw. Yeah.
Shifting gears to SmackDown, did you think at any point that Drew and Sheamus, that we're going to encompass end to end here, were not going to be in the Money in the Bank? I love the story that they were trying to tell, that, oh my God, this is the last man standing match. I thought we were going to get a stipulation that you can't cash in on SummerSlam after the match.
Yeah.
With the key word being after the match. Because somebody is going to cash in during the match, we think. Again, we're fast forwarding past Money in the Bank to SummerSlam already, but yeah, I thought they were going to say after the match you cannot cash in. Instead, we get, hey, you have to beat the Usos to get back into it. Okay, and then the Street Profits just happen to be on SmackDown, which they have not been on SmackDown in 6 months. They just happen to be on SmackDown to cause kind of the controversy. Come on, this was generic booking at its finest.
Oh, it's lazy booking. Let's call it what it is. I mean, it's just lazy. Oh, you're conveniently here. Let's get out there. Let's go run it down. I mean, it doesn't surprise me because I feel like it would. What am I trying to say here? It's a fallback that they always go back to. It's, hey, somebody's going to run out and interfere, so that's going to be one of our points building up this match. It's not anything new. It's nothing that's, hey, let's let these guys get the win and then you attack them afterwards. That would be something new. They always regale to that.
Yeah. Two other things I'll bring up real quick. The Viking Raiders are back. Good. We need tag teams. Let's see if you not ruin them this time now. Because I think in general we might have forgot about some of the bowling competitions, and we're here to remind you of all of them. The scooter competitions, this, that, and the other thing. But they feel a little bit different now.
Yeah.
Let's book them like this. I want to see them a la Legion of Doom, Road Warriors, whatever you want to call them. I just want to see them dismantle people for a while and then get the titles or something, just for freshness.
I agree. That's what I assumed they were going to do for a long time, just have them run down people. But as soon as they got to the main roster, though, they just stripped them of that, and I never understood why.
Well, they changed their name 6 times to Sunday.
I know. Yeah, I know. Viking Experience, Viking Raiders, Viking this, Viking that, Viking Skull.
Because the Viking War Raiders was too non-PC.
I guess.
Wow. Right?
I mean, obviously they couldn't go with War Machine because that was their moniker. I think they were in New Japan before. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just too many name changes. It hurts my head sometimes.
Agreed. Other than that, do we see little plot twist? Sammy wins the Money in the Bank, and he just hands it to the Usos so nobody can cash in on Roman. Yeah, to show his
that could be
his bloodline. What's the word I'm thinking of? Trust or not trust was not loyalty. Loyalty is the right word.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen. That would be a cool storyline, but that's not going to happen.
It would be a great one, but not going to happen.
Other than that, is there anything? Did you like Nat dressed up as Rhonda?
No.
Horrible segment.
Very horrible segment. I think the only other thing I want to say, and this is my grievance right now with WWE, my main one. There's a lot of them. But why are we booking SummerSlam matches before we have Money in the Bank? Can we not wait till the week after Money in the Bank to do this?
No.
It just seems disrespectful to this pay-per-view. And this is why I made that comment earlier about this to us is their fourth biggest pay-per-view of the year. And rightfully so, it should be. but they're almost spitting on it, saying, you know what, we don't care about this. We don't care what happens in this. It's just the prop show that's there. It's like they gave up after they had to move to a smaller venue with it, and they're just like, we're done with this show. So we're building for SummerSlam, and that's the way it is. I'm happy that Pat McAfee's facing Happy Corbin, no pun intended. That could have waited till next week. They could have had another confrontation this week to kind of further that along. It just seems like they don't care necessarily about this pay-per-view, and they're just doing what they want.
To your point about the smaller arena and everything, I completely agree with that. It is them saying, we lost Las Vegas to AEW. Will we go back there again? I don't know, but we're there. Everybody that spent hundreds of dollars on a ticket, yeah, we're going to throw something together. You're only going for the Money in the Bank anyway. Nobody gives a shit about Ronda and Nat. Nobody cares to see how Theory's going to beat Bob. It's just those two matches. And they're essentially, if they don't bookend them, they're stupid. Because if they would put them both on first, which is not going to happen, I completely understand. It's not going to. You put both Money in the Bank matches early in the card, because what is your main event of this? It's got to be a Money in the Bank, right?
Oh, it has to be. And it's probably the men's, I would assume.
I would assume.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because, yeah. But if they would decide, hey, we're going to put them on in the middle at some place, and you're looking, oh, man, all we have left is Ronda and Nat and, I don't know, whoever against whoever, this, that, or the other, I'm probably going home early. I'm definitely turning it off and going to bed early.
Yeah.
So they have to bookend the Money in the Bank. They have to get it hot. They're going to cool it down real fast, and they're going to attempt to bring it back to being hot at the end. But I don't know. You're going to lose a lot of people, because we said this is their number 4 because they've killed Survivor Series. This isn't even a number 8 this year.
No, it's not even close. This is not going to do anything whatsoever for WWE.
None. But we'll make predictions on it in segment number 3. Until then, let's move on to Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Quickly again. Danielson comes out, watch it live. I loved everything about it. Bailey loved everything about it as well. And he just leaves a teaser. And again, I have 2 picks. I put one up on the old social media earlier this week. And then there's another one. I'm not sure which one I'm going with. But we'll save that for the next segment.
I think I know which one I'm going with. But yeah, we will.
Yeah. You like this, right, though? You like Danielson coming out and saying this. And it just, if you didn't know if you were going to buy it a week beforehand and not be able to watch it, you bought it then, right?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. And, the rumors were out there, but now it gives you, if you weren't convinced to buy it before this, I don't know what kind of pro wrestling fan you are, but if this just further cemented why it's a must-see event, not only because it was supposed to be saved for Danielson, because that would have been a match to sell it, but because whoever this mystery person is now going to go forward as a part in Blood and Guts and a part of the BCC. So there's going to be a lot of coming months defined by who the selection is. And it's unreal.
Agreed. And I'm excited for either one. I'll just put it that way. I'm leaning towards one as well, and I think we both are on the same one. But I'm definitely excited for either one. If it's neither, touche. Tomorrow after work, I'll be really surprised. I'm still upset how they're booking New Japan wrestlers. Like, why can't Will and Aussie Open get a freaking win on Dynamite?
I don't get that. I just don't get it, Mark. I was having the same thing, the same question. because to me, you would want them to win and build up that they are a formidable team. And to me, Orange Cassidy and Roppongi Vice, I feel like that could have been an opportunity to get Ospreay a win. It's not like he's dropping it to Orange Cassidy on Sunday.
Right.
So I don't understand why they're tearing down what United Empire Aussie Open can be and what Ospreay can be. Because to me, they look weak coming into this pay-per-view.
New Japan in general looks weak.
Yeah, true. That's true.
So, I really love the promo with Jay Lethal calling out Joe. I thought that was great. I think Joe does need to answer that, and I don't think it's tonight, but I think it's Wednesday for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The hottest thing right now, Jenks, I love Christian. I love him mocking the family.
Everything about it.
There's a line, and then just calling, Luke Perry's dead, this, that, and the other. Right? Luke Perry. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Luke Perry dead, just saying that, the Jungle Boy, and then to the mother and the daughter, and this is white ass heat. This is awesome. Let me say this, though. Is this our shift from MJF until CM Punk comes back? Because I thought that instantly.
Yeah, it could be, because they probably told him to go out there and cut a skating promo. We need to distract from MJF. It could be. It very much could be. Christian, he can play a villain. He can play heel and play villain to like the best of them, or a Bond villain, if you will, because I saw those comments about his outfit. He does it so well. And maybe I'm too bold in proclaiming this, Mark, but I think he's a better heel than Edge is right now.
Oh, yeah.
And
Edge isn't a heel anymore.
Well, now he's not. But when he was with Judgment Day, even before that, I didn't believe it. I thought Christian has done a better job of cementing that he is way better at being a heel than what Edge could be. This is just, he did it in a way to get the heat, and now we're seeing him try to corrupt Luchasaurus. There's so much good that's going to come out of this. Maybe not in terms of what comes out of Christian Cage's mouth, but there's a lot of good that's going to come out of this in the future. And goddamn, he did a great job. And I think you're right. Back to your original point, this could be the gap that holds us over until we see Punk come back. Whenever MJF shows back up, things of that nature, I think this is going to be the person that's going to be that person getting the white heat, cutting those scathing promos, making those comments until we see those two come back.
Yeah, agreed. Just fast forwarding, Malachi and Penta was amazing. That was unbelievable. And I'm glad Malachi got the win. I really am. More on that, maybe, down the line, as there was New Japan. I don't remember the representative got injured, so somebody else slid in.
It was It was Ishii.
Ishii, yeah.
It was going to be Ishii, and now it's Clark Connors. And I was, to be honest, as soon as I heard it was Ishii in the tournament qualifier, I'm like, that has to be their New Japan rep, because people know him. They've been exposed to Ishii before. So again, this pay-per-view just seems cursed in some aspects, because there's a lot of people dropping, and they've had to change the cards so much in the past 2 weeks, let alone months.
Yeah. And I think it does a lot, and we'll talk about it here real soon, but I think it does a lot to the card, essentially, as well, because we thought maybe this, that, or whatever. Nice to see Silas Young back in the old ROH match. You had Silas Young against Hangman with Cole on commentary. Complete ROH days. I love this throwback.
Yeah, this was a good little throwback. And I loved how they built it up as, they called it back. They recalled the ROH history between the two. They kept referring back to it. to build it up further and build up the drama leading into it. Did it lead into what happened afterwards? No, but that was even more monumental in my mind. But yeah, I love this match.
Yeah, monumental. Then Okada comes out. Let me just say that. Oh no, this wasn't the one. Just having Okada come out, and then it's a 4-way essentially. This may be for me the match of tomorrow. For most of you, it's probably going to be match of tonight.
That's tonight, yeah.
This may be my match of tomorrow and match of the week, because I think these 4 are just going to tear it down.
Oh yeah.
But again, more on that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not get into that now.
Damn it, Red Velvet's hurt. And people were like, Red Velvet's hurt. No, like, she was really being part of the baddies, but they're just throwing her to the side. Like, oh, she's hurt, yeah. Tough shit, we can find another baddie. Is this that there's a lot of injuries in AEW, so Red Velvet is out of the baddies now because she just got kicked out? When she returns, she's going to be pissed off, so maybe she goes back with her friend Statlander. Like, there's a lot going on in this, just her being hurt. Or is she hurt for a long time? Because we don't know what the hell's wrong with her.
Yeah, we don't. That's a lot of great questions that, like you just said, we don't know, because we don't know how long she's out for. We don't know what happened. We don't know what's going on here. I know they alluded to it a little bit on Dynamite, but, there's a lot of unknowns here. So if she's out for a long time, then yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they have to find a new baddie for the group. But if not, what was the point of kicking her out? Is it if you're not strong enough to not get injured, you're not a baddie? Is that like what if you can't stay uninjured, you get kicked out of the baddie squad? Is that where it's going with? I mean, that'd be interesting dynamic. That's one we haven't seen in a while, or seen at all. But I'll be interested to see for the duration of how long she's going to be out, how this plays in with everything.
Yeah. Marina and Tony gets a win. Essentially, Thunder Rosa comes out leading up until, whatever. It wasn't anything super terrific, I didn't think.
No, it wasn't.
All right.
I agree with that.
Jericho and Archer against Mox and Tanahashi. This just went to hell in a handbasket fast. Archer being in this was for one reason, the one reason only, take the loss. He just is a big guy that doesn't get booked right. We don't say that a lot about AEW, but this is the guy they're dropping the ball on. Archer, if his contract's up and leaves because he's like, fuck, I can't get a look at anything in AEW. He should. He's just not being used. My beef about this is everybody, the whole locker room comes out, BCC, everybody comes out. Awkwardness for the last 30 to 40 seconds on Dynamite of Mox and Tanahashi just staring at each other, not knowing what to do. They don't know if the hard camera's on them. They legit have a conversation of like, hey, are we going to Applebee's and be fancy like, or like, I don't understand, like, why not throw a punch? They literally stood in the middle of the ring while 50 freaking people were fighting on the outside, not doing a thing.
I honestly now I'm just going to use in my head canon that they were talking about going out to eat afterwards, because that would make the most sense.
Right?
Because I was the same way. Because I'm like, what are they going to do? Anything? Is Mox going to help the BCC? What's he going to do here? And we're just going to stand here, take our time, enjoy it. Maybe we can get a 2 for $24 deal from Applebee's. There's a Quiznos down the street. Maybe they wanted to go there. Who knows?
Jimmy John's. Yeah. Who knows?
They make subs fast.
It was so awkward. It was. If we would not say anything for 3 seconds, all right. So on the realm of that, 3 seconds of silence on a podcast is like, did the guys leave? Did they stop?
Yeah,
did they forgot to hit stop, or are they not recording anymore?
Well, yeah, go off of that, Mark. You do baseball, you do radio. You have dead air for that long.
Oh my
My
God.
God,
It drives me
you're
nuts.
going to get called. Yeah, it drives you nuts. The fans are like, "What the hell's going on? What's happening?"
Yeah.
So 30 or 40 seconds of them standing there just like, yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And maybe AEW thought they were going to do something. Maybe to your point earlier, maybe they thought they were going to do something. And that's why the hard cam kept going back to them. But then they didn't.
And you saw them smiling. They were just smiling at each other. Like, yeah. So I heard Sam Adams has a great summer ale right now. I'm a Leinenkugels fan, John. I don't know what you're talking about.
Who's this Sam Adams, and why do I want to drink his beer at this point? Yeah.
All right. Quickly on Rampage, and we'll get to predictions the rest of the way. Andrade and Phoenix may have been the best match of the week for me. I really loved it until we get to the end. Can we stop? The Lucha Brothers have their masks ripped off every other week now. Stop.
Yeah.
Now it's not even cool. Like, oh my God, we might no. I don't care to see who they are. I really don't. Their personas are their masks, this, that, and the other thing. That's their heritage, and I'm not getting into the lineage of masked wrestlers right now. But just ripping a mask off, because what did he do with it then? He held it up. Cool. I'm holding up my orange juice glass right now. What's that going to do?
Yeah. To me, it takes away from the moment with it, right?
Yeah.
Because every time they do that, it's a cheap victory. Oh, it's a disqualification in AAA or in Lucha Heritage. That's great, but we can't be doing it on Rampages, on Dynamite. This should be happening like if this was like a big title fight. It shouldn't even happen if it's just a one-off match on a pay-per-view, because to me, they're not built up enough to have that be a thing. That we keep taking masks and we keep doing this. So I would agree with you in that argument. I also agree with you. This was the match of the week for me. But again, we keep going back to it's starting to get tired booking. We talked about WWE with their lazy booking. This is kind of lazy booking on AEW's part because they keep going back to it as a cheap victory.
Agreed. Kingston had some words. Swerve and Scott, I still don't understand what the hell they're talking about when they're backstage.
Swerve and Scott?
Keith Lee, I mean. Swerve, yeah.
It's like that was Scott.
Swerve and Keith Lee, I meant. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I want to see Serena and my cousin Mercedes just rip it down. They beat the shit out of Laney Luck and Saraya. Yeah. Let's escalate this a little bit faster. I don't need to see them in tag teams anymore. Let's just let them beat the hell out. Because where is Sheeta? Gone.
Well, that's a great question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing off a fake injury.
Yeah. Still.
No.
Tully Blanchard's got a new group. Jonathan Gresham and Lee Moriarty already called him out. Rampage wasn't great. This is essentially what we're getting to. The Andrade Phoenix match was amazing. And then we get Cash and Cobb. And of course, this just ended with everybody. Rampage was by far the laziest booking of the week.
Agreed. It was, it's a go home show.
It was just go home because it's 3 hours after Dynamite.
We don't know what we want to do, so let's just go home and get this done. Let's get this wrapped and get us to Sunday. That's basically it.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap this segment, and we are going to get to Forbidden Door predictions. So let us tell you this. CanCrusher69@gmail.com. That's our email. Send us some more emails like Ben does. They don't need to be late. They can be whenever you want to. We'll answer a question a week if you want us to. That's cool. Listen to us on Spotify when Buzzsprout decides to send it over, and Google, and iTunes, and Stitcher, and all those cool places. Or just find us on Buzzsprout when they're cranky, and listen to us there. Collar and elbow, hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool stuff that Al Snow and his hooligans have. Use the promo code Can Crushers, all one word, capital C and Can, capital C and Crushers. You will save 10%. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Yes, I'm rocketing through this. Because we want to get to predictions, and we're against a wall. Also, don't forget Gary Emmett of AWR and the God of Death. Deathmatch 3 is on this Wednesday, is the word mark. Listen there. Here comes Al Snow, Collar and Elbow. Jenks and I come back. Forbidden Door predictions. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
It was. Good job.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey, this is the Barbie Killer, Haley Shadows. I absolutely hate can crushers, but I'm going to be on it, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Can Crushers. It's time. Predictions the rest of the way out. This segment is why is forbidden so hard for me to say, Jenks?
I don't know, but you got to get those cockles and that language up to speed for this afternoon's ball games here, bud.
Well, I think essentially that's what I'm doing. I'm pulling back a little bit, so I have 2 games. 2 7-inning games, essentially back-to-back. So I want to be upbeat, and I want to stay with it, but I don't want to over-excel. So maybe This is a mail-in show as well.
You're fitting the theme of wrestling this week. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
But we're talking about Forbidden Door. It's predictions time. Guys, that's on tonight. Jenks and I will not be watching it live, so don't text us, don't let us know, don't even get on social media, you sons of bitches.
No ads.
Nothing.
No ads on the media.
Maybe I should just not go to work tomorrow. That would be... I can't. Because I need vacation days for God of Death in Indianapolis.
How many times, we should bet how many times you say God of Death before the end of the show.
How many times am I going to say before July 8th?
Fair point. That is fair.
I'm excited.
You should be.
I hope I can get the weapon that I make back as well. I need to talk to Gary about that.
That would be a unique item to display in that office that you have. You'd have to rearrange it again. Because I would assume you'd put it on the wall.
The wife would move out. Every time I rearrange, she's like, I'm leaving.
Just have this random weapon with barbed wire wrapped around it, because I assume you're going to put barbed wire in something.
In somebody's blood, hopefully the drip just freezes. Can I get like BioFreeze that Brandon Cutler has, that when maybe like Necro Butcher's blood or a piece of skin is there, I can just BioFreeze it on it so it's just there and it just decays over the next 20 years?
Cold spray it every 12 seconds. Make sure it's feeling good.
Oh, this is going to go downhill, isn't it? I'm either going to get killed, God of Death,
or you're going to become the God of Death.
I may be. You see, that's the spoiler. You'll have to wait until I'll be recording that day, by the way, in Indianapolis. I have to call you on the 10th to do that show. That's weeks away. So let's just let's get the Forbidden Door.
I'm just saying right now, I hope you're going to be dressed as Kratos. If you don't know what that is, it's a lot of video games. And you just come out and start wrecking people in a match. But that's just fantasy booking.
Jesus. All right,
Somebody's going to need it. All right, go ahead. Let's do this.
You have the card in front of you. You can run and let's. I'll put this up. Are we betting on this one? I mean, it's mine to lose. It would be mine to lose, essentially. So we're definitely not betting on Money in the Bank. So, no, that's not happening. Maybe SummerSlam for WWE, but I almost... Let me give you my reasoning real quick.
Okay.
Injuries is my key. I think we might have known some more, had some heavier predictions. We both said that a lot of injuries has happened rolling into this. Yes, some are going to wrestle hurt, some are going to do this. I almost, there's some matches that are give me's, and then there's some that, I don't know. Your thoughts. What do you think? Of course you'd want a free six-pack, but...
Right. So to me as well, I would agree with you in the sense that there have been so many injuries that have just shifted pay-per-view was at the beginning of June versus what it is now. So I would honestly agree with you. I'm good with not putting it on the line tonight if we just want to be like, okay, hey, this is what we got. This is what we know. Let's just call it a fun little guessing game, if you will.
All right. So my next defense is at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it would be at SummerSlam.
So we're booking ahead already as well.
We're booking SummerSlam again.
Good.
That's fine.
All right. Fuck. Forbidden Door. It's time to go.
Yeah, that's not even a good one either. Also, oh man, I apologize now because I'm going to butcher some of these names.
That's why I gave them to you. Yeah.
I knew you did. I know that's why you did it. We'll go kickoff show first. And again, folks, I do have the Moochie's guesses as well. So they're in the back pocket. We'll bring those up as well. So kickoff show buy-in. The first one is Max Caster and the Gun Club. This is Yuya Urimori, Alex Coughlin, Kevin Knight, and DKC. Who do you got for that?
I almost think, because we spoke about Max a lot last week, about how we started to love him, I think this is an AEW win. I essentially, I'm going to go AEW New Japan until we get to a couple matches. I think this is an AEW win to get the crowd hot, to let Max maybe after the win come on and say some stuff as well. Yeah.
I would agree with that. I think, we're going to get a lot of Max Caster doing his shtick. The Gun Club, it's going to be done. I don't see them losing. They seem to be building a lot of momentum lately for them. So I would agree Max Caster and the Gun Club are going to win this one.
I should write these down. I should probably write these down. So.
Yeah, you might want to write these down. Even though we're not betting it, let's write it down.
Right. All right. They're going to be very generic written down, too, so...
Well, whatever works.
Go ahead.
So this one that I found, this card is from this morning, actually. So the next one that's up here, I guess, is a handicap match, because I didn't hear about this one before reading it. But QT Marshall versus Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. If I'm a bet man, I'm going to say that QT's going to lose this match. I'm with you along the lines of this is AEW versus New Japan in a sense, but there's no way QT's winning.
Yeah, agreed. New Japan wins that.
Yeah. All right, final buy-in show match. Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, so Bask and is it Swerve in their glory? Yeah, I think it's Swerve in their glory. Or Bask in their glory, something like that. Versus El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Wow. Go for it.
Lee and Swerve need a freaking win. So This is going to be right before the pay-per-view starts. They need to become relevant if they're going to be a tag team that's going to be something of noteworthy. So this is a big win for them. So I said Swerve and Scott again, didn't I? Well, you know what I mean. Swerve and Lee.
Swerve and Lee. By the way, Moochie did pick the same three that we did for the buy-in. So all on track there. All right, so the first match that they have on the main card, the Bucks, El Phantasmo, and Himalayo is now on the outside, I believe, with Takahashi spiking a fever in that, so he will not be a part of the match. So this is a trios match. So Bullet Club versus Sting, Darby Allin, and Shingo Takagi. I got to go Bullet Club. I think Himalayo is going to be too involved in this for them not to win.
I agree as well. With a little bit of a spin.
Okay.
Darby takes the loss. It's a pay-per-view. It's going to be, I think this has to lead into the Darby Sting thing. I'm not saying this match itself. I just think, like, the losses on pay-per-view, Sting's going to have to, that's going to be the selling point. I don't know, but Bullet Club.
Yeah, and I'm going to go off of that a little bit. I think, but they take a different path than what's going on with Christian and Jungle Boy right now. I think Sting challenges him at All In to push him to the limit and say, you have to get past me to get a win. We got to get you out of your own mind. He's going to still be the mentor for the first match. So I think that one's going to be more or less of Sting just being like, listen, I'm going to challenge you, and this is the only way I know how. So this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's all in for like a challenge, mentor versus mentee type of mentality.
Yeah, the Larry Zbyszko, Bockwinkel type of thing. Yeah.
Yep, agreed.
Okay.
All right. Moochie did pick Bullet Club. He has no faith in Sting being 62 years old to wrestle. I don't know why.
Okay.
But this one, the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, that will not be actually at the pay-per-view unless Juice Robinson decides to show up because he stole it. But it's Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy. Mark, what you got?
For shits and grins, I have to hope that Will gets the win. My God, they've buried him across the board. This is Will fucking Ospreay. I mean,
I know.
This poor guy. He comes to America and he can't get a win against a Brooklyn Brawler. For the love of God. It better be Will, right? This may be easier to pick than we think, but like, I don't know. And we'll talk about, does Juice show up and cost him the match? Is this just a booking? Orange Cassidy gets to win by default, but essentially Will gets to win because he beats up Juice and gets the title back, and then it leads to something over there. But I want Will to win.
I think Will wins this because it is for the title. So if Orange Cassidy was to win this match, he would be the IWGP US Heavyweight Champion.
Right.
So I feel like this is a win for Ospreay. I don't think he loses this, but I could see it just being a no contest as well because Juice Robinson shows up. Going off of that, Moochie actually did pick Orange Cassidy because he sounds colorful. So that's where we're at with that.
Well, he has got a color in his name, so okay.
That's exactly why he said that.
All right.
The hatred. All right. Winner take all. This is the Ring of Honor and IWGP Tag Title match. FTR versus Roppongi Vice versus United Empire. Mark, I think they give it to FTR. I think they are going to be dripping in gold by the end of the night.
Completely agreed. Once they announced that it was for everything, again, we've said maybe it's their swan song, maybe they're going to take a break or whatever, but I think they have everything that's drenched over them. I think Roppongi's in there to take the loss. One of them taking the loss.
Agreed. Probably, I'm thinking Trent's going to be the one taking the loss for some reason, but it's actually Roppongi Vice is going to win for some reason.
No way.
No chance. They're too far away from that. I will also say this might be too early, and I don't know if this would count for the Crushies, but FTR is my team of the year, but is also my I'm going co-male superstars of the year so far.
Whoa.
Early on, I can't.
6 months in.
Deny, 6 months in, you cannot deny that FTR has had the most successful year of their careers, but of a lot of people so far. This has been a very successful year for them.
All right.
So
when we're done with all these predictions, I also have just a subject to change as well. Type of line. So go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. Next up is another trios match. The Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Suzuki versus Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umemiya. Mark, I pronounced that last name wrong, but oh well. Your turn. What do you got?
This match doesn't end. They need something to get us to Wednesday to Blood and Guts. It doesn't end. It ends in a disqualification or something like that. I don't think there's a winner. I think it just all leads to more blood and guts.
That's fair. I'm actually going to say it's Kingston and Yuta do win this. That team wins it. I do think there's going to be a brawl of some sorts. I don't think it ends, though. I think somebody's going to get a win out of it. But I think it solidifies Kingston and Yuta involved in that. If we go to Moochie's, he did pick the Wizard and Sammy and Suzuki. So it could go either way, and I could definitely see it being a no contest. So we'll not disagree with that.
Yeah, that's essentially a card subject to change at some point.
Yes, exactly. Excuse me. All right. The new championship, AEW All-Atlantic Championship, Malachi Black versus Miro versus the newly inserted Clark Connors versus Pac. I think this is Miro's to lose. So I'm going Miro.
I am too. At one point, I thought Black. I thought, yes. But I think there's more in the works. Tony Khan already announced there's going to be more titles coming.
Yeah,
I think the House of Black, possibly the first trio as champions in AEW. I think that's something that they build up for them. But yes, Miro back. He's the Redeemer now. This, that, and the other thing. Yeah, without a doubt. Yes.
Yep.
I don't have any other thoughts. So yeah, that's why
there's
I
no
stopped.
other thoughts. Agreement across the board. So it's agreement across the board for Miro to win this, and which means he's not going to win it. Next up. I know. AEW Women's Title match: Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm. Mark,
Rosa. Rosa. I wrote Rosa already down for you. I don't know why. I'm writing shit so fast. Rosa, because I don't think this is. There's more to come with Rosa. There's a rematch with Britt. There's Jade. I don't think everything that's even been bad publicity on Rosa recently, I don't think they take it off for Tony.
Okay. I'm actually going Tony Storm.
Wow.
I think they pulled the plug. Mucci did pick Tony Storm, but for me, they are building up Tony Storm more and more. I think they can do a lot. I think there's a Britt Tony Storm element that could be coming down the line. Obviously, I think they're going to collide for the title at some point, and I think they give it to Tony. Amid everything that happened with Rosa so far, I think that played into it, but I also think that people would be willing to buy that Tony Storm could be the champion as opposed to, say, a Marina Shafir, who had the challenge a couple weeks ago. I think I think Tony Storm, and I think Tony Storm versus Britt Baker at All In is the selling point for that is one of the selling points for that pay-per-view. Thunder Rosa and Britt, they can always go two. They can always pull it out of the bag. And honestly, I don't think they're going to be near each other again until next year during St. Patrick's Day Slam.
Touche.
Because that's where they seem to be having their rivalries at and have big matches there. So
because they're both Irish. I agree.
They are. Yeah, totally both Irish. All right, this one, which was not announced until Wednesday, Zack Sabre Jr. versus this mystery opponent who will be joining the Blood and Guts feud. Mark, we've been hinting at it a couple times. So for me, and honestly, Mucci, we both think that this person is Cesaro or Claudio. That's the perfect candidate right now for the Blackpool Combat Club. I think he's an excellent fit there. And I kind of think he wins this match. I don't think they put over Zack Sabre here. If it was Bryan Danielson, I think it would be a different story. But
Agreed. Posted earlier this week that Johnny Gargano is also doing a signing in Chicago.
Yeah.
When I heard Danielson say that, these are the first two people that I thought of. Johnny is back into wrestling. He's doing stuff. He has done stuff in Cleveland recently with AIW. Cesaro fits the Blackpool Blackpool Combat Club, I think, better than Johnny.
Yeah.
But I think that is the swerve. And I think that's where you can give Sabre Jr. the win then by Johnny. But I'm going with everybody, and I'm saying this is Claudio. Without a doubt. I'm just being devil's advocate there. This is definitely Claudio, and he gets a win. Yeah, I'm excited to watch it tomorrow.
I am too. I would say I did think Johnny as well, but I feel like it would need to be a dramatic shift in his character.
Yeah.
For him to fit in with the Blackpool Combat Club, which wouldn't be a bad thing. And I think he could pull that off, but I think this is too much. It speaks too much to Claudio, so I think it's definitely Claudio.
But don't be surprised if Johnny does show up at some point as well tonight.
And so let's play that card a little bit. When would he show up? Because I feel like it would have to tie into a match.
Oh, it's gonna.
So where do you think it would fall into?
It's gonna.
Or is that to come?
It's probably the four-way match you're going to announce next.
It is. Okay, let's see where we go with this then. IWGP Championship, fair enough. Switchblade Jay White, Hangman Adam Page, Adam Cole, or Okada. Mark, who's winning?
I'm taking Jay White to retain. I am.
Agreed.
I'm taking Jay White to retain. This is going to be a barn burner. I think this is a match of the week, the night, this, that, and the other thing. This is what I am excited for. But I think Jay White then starts popping off at the end of the match, and then Johnny Wrestling shows up. And then it leads to, Jay White's going to be in America for a while. And I think that in time, Johnny Wrestling will be that champion.
Will be the IWGP champion.
Yep.
Whoa, okay. All right, fair enough. So I was going to wait till after the card, but I want to say this now. For some reason, I have a feeling there's going to be a new member of the Bullet Club announced. Something's coming to fruition with the Bullet Club. They haven't been heavily leaning into Bullet Club. We know they're there. But for some reason, I don't know who and I don't know what, so don't get me that I know anything about that. I just have a feeling the Bullet Club is adding a member tonight, and we're going to be shocked by it.
Okay. That didn't even cross my mind, but now I'm very much intrigued.
And, I think we talked about it last month where we said, maybe Paige is going to turn. I don't think it's Paige, but I do think that we will see new Bullet Club member tonight, but we'll see what happens. I could be dead wrong.
Dead wrong. Okay.
Dead wrong. All right. Final match of the evening. This is probably the one I had most difficulty with, going back and forth on. It is the interim AEW champion Moxley versus Tanahashi. I keep flip-flopping on this. This morning, I'm going Tanahashi.
Is it because who you think is going to come out after the match?
No. For me, I think they're long-term planning when Punk comes back, and they want it around the title. Although I didn't really think about anybody coming out after the match unless we're talking MJF specific.
No.
Who are you thinking?
Omega.
Okay.
He makes an appearance tonight. And I would agree. This is where it makes sense. And I think Punk's out. By the way, I'm agreeing with you wholeheartedly. Yeah. This makes sense to have Punk and Tanahashi meet at the end and get this championship wrapped back up and kind of wrap up this little storyline and then bring MJF back in. But there may need to be one defense in between this and now. Tanahashi Omega sells shit all over the world.
Right.
Then you slide Punk back. You slide Punk back in, and we just continue from said injury until MJF takes the title from Punk.
I could see that. And I guess my question would be, is this at All In, or is this going to be given away for free on Dynamite? Because if so, I would hope they would do what they did for Bryan Danielson versus Omega. Give us 30 minutes uninterrupted.
Whatever the hell, Dynamite, when they call it Fighter Fest or something around there. It's definitely going to be a specialty show. It's not going to be Dynamite from Jenks' backyard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, could I please have front row seating if it is there?
Yeah, it's going to be limited capacity. But yeah, you can definitely, somebody's jumping out of my tree apparently as well. But,
okay.
So, yeah, I could definitely see that. You know what? Oddly enough, in the past couple of weeks, Omega had not crossed my mind, except in the fashion that theory. That makes no absolute sense. But have you noticed the camera guy that's been wearing a mask at ringside and his face is completely covered?
Yep.
At some point, it's always come back to me that I'm not saying that guy is Omega right now, but at some point it will be Omega, and that's how he comes back.
Yeah.
Because
and he's not built like Omega, by the way. He's
not.
He's built like Jay White, and I mean it like he's thin, tall,
Yep.
Where Omega is a little bit stockier built guy, but yeah. Do you pay attention to cameramen that much? Apparently we do.
Well, and here's why, because he always seems to be in a shot.
Yeah.
Like if you show WWE, you probably can't see it with the bajillion camera cuts they always do. You don't see the cameraman that often. If you do, it's a quick how you do, and then it's done. But with them, popping up. And it's like Kip Sabian in the crowd with the bag on his head. So I just feel like he's there, and I feel like this is going to tie back to Omega at some point.
Agreed.
I don't know.
Agreed. This is my card subject to change and my prediction subject to change type of deal shtick that I said. All the title matches may also just be randomness, that no titles change hands. We went with, we're actually predicting winners, but I think there's a strong possibility that only one title could be, displayed, and it's a main one with Mox and Tanahashi. I think that one definitely has to go to somebody, right? We would think. All the others of like FTR and the women's and Jay White's, and they could all just, and I hate if it's going to end up being the AWA versus the WWE versus World Class type of booking where every championship match ends in a no disqualification count out or something like that. I hope we don't get that. If we get that, I would be pissed. And I don't want to see another one of these AEW New Japan things again. Because I didn't like them then. And I'm older and crankier now. I don't want to see it now. I don't think we're gonna, but that's kind of just my little card subject, prediction subject to change. Because championships sometimes don't change hands in multi-organizational pay-per-views like this.
I would agree. I think, to your point, I think there's only one match where we could see shenanigans, and you already brought it up with Jericho, Sammy, Kingston, and Yuta, Suzuki, and all of them. I think that's probably the main match we could see shenanigans on. Outside of that, I can't see that they're going to plan for too many shenanigans.
Right.
I think that winner-take-all match, that just screams FTR winning and taking the titles, obviously, in my opinion. It just also screams that there's no way that match can end in a no contest unless a meteor came and struck down. But Luchasaurus isn't in the match, so we're fine.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at. All of these matches are built to end in a certain way. Maybe we get a time limit draw with Sabre and Claudio if that's the person that comes up. That's always a possibility too. But I just feel like we're leaning towards there will be a definite winner, but I agree most of the titles will not change hands tonight.
Yeah. All right, that's our predictions. We're going to truck right along, and we're going to give you the Money in the Bank predictions for Saturday, which we forgot about until 20 minutes before the show, just because that's the way our life is right now. I'm going to say this. If you made it this far, don't text me and Jenks tonight. We will be so pissed off. Don't ruin a pay-per-view for anybody. But really, don't text me and Jenks anything.
We know there's going to be a lot of big things happening tonight, so just keep it to yourself. We'll talk to you tomorrow about it. Some earlier than others.
Yeah.
But
yeah. My wife will be posting tomorrow on social media until I watch it.
Yes. And also just saying, and oh my God, text is fine.
Yeah.
But that's it.
You can just don't give me any background.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless somebody dies tonight, don't. And I don't want to, please, dear God, don't let that happen. But
right.
You know what I mean. All right, we're getting long. All right, Money in the Bank's coming up real quick. Hold on.
This is the hardcore icon, Just Incredible, and you're listening to Can Crushers Podcast. Now, that's not just the coolest, and that's not just the best Can Crushers Podcast. Well, that, my friends, is just incredible.
Money. Money, money, money. Here comes the money. It's time, Can Crushers, for the Money in the Bank prediction portion of this podcast.
That's a different shift than you've ever done, and I hope you did the dance because, guys, if you ever see me and Jenks out and about town when we are together, he does the best Shane O'Mac that I've seen besides Shane O'Mac. And this was back in Parts Unknown Seawolves days. So I'm sure you've really, really have gotten it down now.
I have. It has been part of the rehab from when I fell with the knee to make sure I could still do the Shane O'Mac dance. So you're definitely damn right it is. So there's been extra practice happening this past 6 months.
Wow. and prideful about it, too.
Damn right.
All right, Money in the Bank. Again, the running joke is we forgot that it was happening Saturday. We thought we were going to talk about it next week, but we would have been a day late and $1 short. And that's what this pay-per-view is ending up to be. Jenks, there's a card, half-ass card written up, and you have it, right?
I do have it straight from the WWE's mouth.
I'm not even writing this shit down. So.
All right, that's fair. I'll start from the bottom up, get us to the last match. So they actually have at the bottom up the U.S. title match with Theory and Bobby Lashley. I just went through puberty there. Jesus Christ. Mark, Theory or Bobby Lashley?
Theory. We've discussed this already.
Yeah, it's definitely Theory. It is not a baby oil on the full match, so we don't have to worry about that.
Should be, though. It should be.
I think so. They've used it enough, so I think it should be as well. All right. Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions of the World, Usos versus Street Profits. I will say Usos. I don't think I was going to go Street Profits, but I don't think they're going to give them the undisputed titles. Maybe one of them, but not both.
The Usos will lose these in time, and I think they lose them before Roman.
Yeah.
So, again, we're booking to SummerSlam because that's what I think we both have, Roman, as well. And I think it will be the Street Profits, but this is their first time. And, again, Viking Raiders aren't built up yet. There's no other tag teams. You need the tag team championships on SummerSlam. So it might be a specialty match at SummerSlam where the Street Profits win it. So Usos. Long, way too long, but yes.
Okay, I like that booking. All right, so this is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match as it stands now, but I think Mark and I can both agree that the winner's already in this match and probably in the women's match right now. So we have Money in the Bank, Seth freaking Rollins, or Seth Franklin Rollins, if you will, Drew McIntyre, Omos, Sheamus, and Sami Zayn have all qualified so far. Mark, who's your pick?
I teased Sami Zayn earlier. I did. And I actually love what they did on SmackDown about the whole giving us that thought that Brock and Roman's going to be last man standing. So one of these bigger guys, not Omos, but one of the bigger guys like Drew or Sheamus could then check in and then just whoever won just decimate them and walk out of SummerSlam. Cool. Mm-hmm. I love that little bit of tidbit. How are we going to get behind one of them? Maybe Drew again, but that sets up, I don't know. You give it to Seth, that I think we're both on board with, that opens up a lot. A lot. It sets up what we already have discussed, WrestleMania as well, with a returning Cody Rhodes at Royal Rumble. Long-term booking. It has to happen. I think this is the payoff that we want. We're going to get it? Probably not, but I'm going Seth.
I am too. I think it's Heist of the Century 2.0. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. That's going to happen at SummerSlam. Everything just lines up. It's got to be Seth freaking Rollins. There's no other way around it, to all your points that you already brought up. So
let me pause there because we have a couple minutes.
Yeah.
If it's not Seth, who? Do they? Can we? Do we look at Omos? Do we even look at him?
I would personally say if it's not Seth, I think it's Drew, and Drew's cashing in at the Clash at the Castle or whatever it's called, and he's going to tell Roman about it ahead of time, and they're just going to build it up, and that's Drew's path to the title.
I like that. I like that a lot better than anything else. So yeah, but I'm one, and Sheamus isn't being booked this way, but I wouldn't mind Sheamus being one more time. But I don't think it fits in his whole whatever the hell they're called, Broad Street Bullies or whatever.
Yeah, I do think they're going to get involved in some aspects of this match, and maybe they tack through to get him out of the match. And that could be a possibility, and we could be seeing in maybe a Sheamus Drew match at SummerSlam. But I think if it's not Seth, I think Drew's your only other candidate, unless they're doing something wacky with Sammy. Or there's somebody that they haven't announced yet. I don't know.
If they do something wacky with Sammy, I really would love it. But I think me wants it too much. All right.
Yep, agreed. All right, so we'll move on to the fantastic, much hyped, much loved SmackDown Women's Championship match of Ronda Rousey versus Natalya, hence the heavy sarcasm. Ronda's not losing, so there's nothing really to pick here, to be honest.
Move along.
You're going Ronda too. I get it.
This was the worst. Worst. Go ahead.
Fair enough. All right, women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lacey Evans, Asuka, Shotzi, Mark. Who you got?
This one is actually between two people for me, Jenks. It really is. We are going to get, because when you get the Money in the Bank, we've seen it, you just completely get decimated. Are we going to get that Liv moment? And I think a lot of people want that Liv moment to get her back in, and maybe we hope, because we don't want anything cashed in within a week anymore, let her hold it until maybe right after WrestleMania, and she gets the first ever heist for women, because they like doing a lot of first evers. You know, this whole first ever, they want to publicize and do all that. That's why I would pick Liv. Becky and Asuka have their own thing. Becky's going to be involved. I think Asuka is taken out of this match fast. That's going to build up for something down the line. I'm going to go Alexa.
Okay. So for me, it was between two people, but Liv was not one of them, because if I go off of it, in my mind, Liv is built for a WrestleMania moment, and I think they would get her a shining moment, maybe at the Rumble or something like that. It's just a feel-good story. So I think you perfectly build it like that. To your point, Asuka is going to get taken out by Becky. For me, Lacey and Shotzi are not in this match. They're just in this match. They're not a contender for the match. So it comes down to Raquel and Alexa. I'm going to just play devil advocate here. I do think Alexa could win it, but I'm going to play devil's advocate and say they give it to Raquel. And she holds on to it for a very long time until she's ready to cash in. And she will cash in at the opportune moment, potentially doing a heel turn at the same time.
I'm not being a dick. I hope it's a long hold then. Like long hold because I don't think she's ready. But right,
she's not ready. I'm thinking next year before Money in the Bank. So I'm thinking post WrestleMania next year is when we're going to see it. Potentially, let's book it this way. If I think in my mind right now, Liv wins at Mania, Raquel cashes in the night after Mania or the week after Mania.
Pissing people off all over again.
But it sets up two younger. It reinserts Liv as that underdog that just can't have the moment she wanted. She gets it for a hot second, and it gets ripped away from her again. I think it could write very well for that, or that story could be written for any one of these ladies. Let's go back. Lacey Evans could have that story, and could take that after Mania next year from Liv.
True.
Raquel, because I think that's the most ominous and most posing figure and posing threat right now. When she's ready, she's going to be the most dominant. Basically the biggest threat to anyone's title. So that's where I'm going with that.
Do you believe, get ready for some heat, none of the 4 horsewomen are in this match?
I can't believe it, but again, there's no spots available. So I can't believe it that none of them are in this match.
Well, one of them's not even with the company anymore. One's still air quotes hurt. Well, 2 are air quotes hurt. And one's not in the match. That will be
not
there.
Even on the card.
Yeah.
She's not even on the card.
Yeah.
So I can't believe that.
There's a shift.
Does it?
This women's revolution now, or whatever they're calling it, this women's roster is the figure, the mother figure, the mother lord, or whatever you want to call it, the mother of God, is Bianca Belair right now. Sure as shit, not Ronda.
No. I think there's a heavy shift to your point, and they've made it clear that they're building up the talent of the younger generations here. And we could say Asuka and Alexa, this match, could just carry the match with name value.
Yep.
This is essentially built that they've made the transition to the younger women, which is fantastic because that means they're developing stars.
Right.
Which is something we've begged for WWE. So as long as they're respectful with it, I think, we'll see Charlotte come back, obviously, and win her 1900th title at some point. And maybe Bayley comes back. She's best friends with Sasha, and Sasha's reportedly gone. Maybe she's going to hold out. I don't know. But yeah, I think we're seeing, to your point, the shift to the younger generation of women.
Yeah.
In the WWE.
Agreed. And I'm all for it. I really am.
I am too.
I like your pick with Raquel. I really do. I'm that mark that takes name value. And Alexa has nothing going on. So why not give her this? But then she's a 2-time winner. And I don't know. Yeah. All right. Move along.
Well, yeah, we'll move along. I think for me, Alexa's going to get a title shot here maybe next month at SummerSlam. The woman, whoever comes out of, which we think we already know, whoever comes out of the Raw Women's Championship match. So Bianca, Carmella. I don't think there's any doubt that it's going to be Bianca, but maybe you'll surprise me.
Yeah, we both have Bianca in that, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's on the card.
That's it right now. That's all that's announced right now. There could be more announced during the week, but I'm guessing it's only going to be those 6 matches.
We are not going to get the IC title on another pay-per-view again. Can we not get Gunther something? Or anybody that's had the IC title. Tell me offhand, and then this is where we're going to leave. When was the last time the IC title was on a pay-per-view?
It had to have been, oh my God, SummerSlam last year?
Right? I don't know. I that's a question for the nation and to look forward to next week. I have no clue.
And here's what, maybe he's going to be the 6th man in the match, but why is Gunther not on a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to do, they already have 3 SmackDown guys, so they would have to do 3 Raw, I would assume. So Gunther wouldn't even be in the Money in the Bank match.
Look at there's name values that are not on this.
Yeah.
People are going to say, well, what? The Miz? The Miz can't get thrown into something?
Yeah, AJ's not into something. I mean, that match could get announced because they've been going back and forth the past couple weeks. So maybe that's going to be a match on the card.
Right.
That's announced this week. But no, I agree. They're not involved. I don't know why I'm blanking on everybody, but you're right. There's a lot of names that are just not on Money in the Bank right now.
Yeah.
Well, we could even say, I mean, no matter if you like him or not, Happy Corbin is a big name in the company. And he's not even on the card.
They threw it away, man. They threw it away.
They did. I think once they realized they couldn't sell out the stadium, they didn't give a shit about this card anymore.
No. All right, well, that's it for the week. Bye. No. Jenks, we put this together quickly. Again, I'm going to preface, do not text me or Jenks unless it's, oh my God. I hope everybody enjoys Forbidden Door tonight, and then Money in the Bank next Saturday. It's going to be a full-fledged show. I think we're just going to break it down and go from...
Break it down.
I think we break it down and just go day by day next week, because who the hell, we have to start with Sunday and we have to end with next Saturday. So that's the way the week works, right?
Is it? I did not know that. Surprise.
And don't forget to listen on Wednesday to Gary Emmett to talk about Asylum Deathmatch Tournament 3, God of Death, and I will be there making weapons.
I am impressed that it took you 20 minutes to say God of Death again.
July 8th and 9th, Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Emerson Theater. Yeah, I'm pumping this up until then. Even on spotlights with people that don't know what God of Death is. People are like, oh my God.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm that guy. Blood and guts. Is this Wednesday, by the way? Make sure you watch
It is this
that.
Wednesday. Well, real quick, we got Jericho Appreciation Society or the BCC Kingston Santana Ortiz?
Didn't Jericho win Blood and Guts last year, I mean?
No, he lost to the Pinnacle.
Oh, yeah. He loses again then. Kingston's got to get the win.
Yeah.
They've been taking as many losses as everything else, so is Will Ospreay.
Right. Yeah, this has got to be a win. I would agree. So Kingston for the win.
Action-packed show next week covering everything from pay-per-views to Blood and Guts to streaming live events. I can't wait. Jenks, I love you. Have a great week. Go to your baseball game, and I'm going to go salt my cockles.
Love you too. You salt those cockles. Enjoy your week.
Peace out. Remember, just because I'm trash, Mark is trash, it doesn't mean you can't do great things.
Mark, you're a garbage can. Not a garbage can, not.
Boop, boop.
Peace.